Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have a couple of big stories coming out of the LEC to talk about. Now, obviously, the LEC has started off pretty fun. It's been pretty exciting. It's been a great start to the 2022 campaign for the league over in Europe. Obviously, we are now exactly halfway through the spring split. You know, all the teams have played 9 games. We had a really cool Super Week. We had some awesome games everywhere in between. You know, we have 9-0 Rogue. We have Fnatic up and down, G2 up and down, all these teams. Mad Lions is in the mix. It's just been fun. It's been exciting. It's been very, very close. No one expected Rogue to be as good as they are. No one really knows who the second best team in Europe is. No one knows who the 3 teams going to World Jet are going to be, or even at this point, who that one team's going to MSI is going to be. Obviously, Perks is back, Alfari's back, all these big names all over the place. It's just been a very, very successful year for the LEC. Viewership's been great. Everything's been fun. Everything's been exciting. But what we're going to be talking about in this video today is 2 things that could make the second half of the spring split and potentially the rest of the year even better than the first half was, and that is very, very exciting. So make sure you guys do drop a like if you enjoy this video. I would appreciate that so much. It really does help out the channel. The more likes we get, the more YouTube's going to push us in the algorithm. So, you know, my more liked videos are going to get more views, and those are going to get more likes, and then it's going to get more views. It's just really, really awesome to do that real quick. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, the first thing we have is something that we've already talked about a little bit. You know, the LEC tweeted out this today, at least the day that I'm recording this video. They said, the players return to the studio. And I know I made a video talking about this, I think, last weekend, where they said the players would be returning to the studio this weekend, but still cool to get the official announcement from them. And it is a good announcement. It's a good piece of content that they put out, but then they also have a little statement as well, you know, so here we go. We'll check this out real quick just so we can make sure everyone sees this video. So overall, I thought that was a good way to announce it, that the players are going to be back in the studio. You know, it kind of has that LEC sense of humor, LEC production value. Really, really good thing. You get Perks' face out there. Pretty funny. 260K or 260K views, which is pretty good on Twitter. And then they put out the statement as well. You know, they said, we are delighted to announce that starting this Friday, we will welcome back teams competing in games 1 and 5 to the LEC main stage. So I guess just going to be 2 games on the main stage, and then, you know, maybe slowly moving in the rest of the teams. The health and safety of players, their teams, and our staff will always be our #1 priority. However, after discussing the ongoing COVID-19 situation in Berlin with the relevant authorities and stakeholders, we are confident that we can begin to safely reintegrate teams back to the studio step by step. As always, we continue to assess the ongoing COVID situation and update the community when we're able to safely welcome back fans and media to the studio. So I hadn't actually read this statement yet. I just saw that it existed. So apparently games 1 and 5 are going to be there. I don't know, I guess just so they have time to, you know, sanitize stuff and get things under control and kind of limit, you know, outbreaks and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird. Whatever, it's better than nothing. It is exciting. We're slowly getting that back, because, you know, what they said is we were going to have players back, and, you know, people assume that meant every game or all the players, but I guess we're still not ready for that yet. So hopefully that'll be coming in the coming weeks. I did think this was funny from Yankos, who said, wait, so now it's official, but it was also kind of official a few days ago, right? Which is also weird, you know. Then the LEC responds, which that's a pretty good tweet. That's pretty funny, and doesn't make a ton of sense. You know, Perks also tweeted out, can't wait to play in front of thousands of people again. Oh wait, and yeah, you know, it's not there yet. We're making progress, baby steps. Hey, like I said, it's better than nothing. It's still frustrating. It still doesn't make sense. It's still pretty stupid overall, and in the opinions of a lot of people. But hey, whatever. We'll get apparently 4 games in the LEC studio this weekend. That's better than 0. We'll take it. The other big news, this is coming out from the LEC Twitter as well, which I think can have a big effect on, you know, the viewership and just how excited people are for the LEC in the second half. Maybe not so much the viewership, but The Queen is back. Shox returns to host the LEC this week. This has been a story I've also covered on the channel previously, but not the conclusion to it, that she is actually returning. Last time we talked about this, it was still kind of up in the air. It was still kind of in limbo. She was scheduled to possibly make a return, I think, in week 4, and it didn't work out. They weren't able to come to an agreement. They weren't able to reach a deal. She had all these personal and professional different things going on, but now apparently she is going to be back hosting the LEC. I believe this is week 5 we're going into, I think. That could be wrong, maybe 5 or 6. But either way, that is very, very exciting, and this popped off. Obviously, this tweet just of her returning got 30K likes. Super, super crazy. She said, "I'm back, baby, let's get it." That got 37K likes, which is crazy. And then she tweeted out this as well. Holy shit, I guess you guys are excited for me to be back. Wild. Hope I can sleep from the excitement. These are Pastagate levels of impressions. 1 million impressions on her tweet of, just of her quoted retweet of the LEC's post. And I'm sure the LEC post, got multiple hundreds of thousands of impressions as well. So it's really, really crazy. It just shows, the kind of love Shox is getting, how much she really means to and is appreciated by the community, and just how much reach and stuff she has, which I think is really, really cool. Now, obviously, the interesting part of this whole story is I wonder how those negotiations end up, and I think a lot of other people do as well. I wonder which side gave in a little bit. Obviously, there had to be some kind of compromise. Did Shox come down? Did the LEC come down? Riot come down? Whoever? Because I know there were, so many people coming out randomly saying, "Oh, Riot's being cheap. The LEC's being cheap. They need to pay her. They need to meet her demands. They need to do all this stuff." And last time I was just like, hey, you guys have no idea what Shox is coming to the table with, what the LEC's coming to the table with. I know Riot kind of has a reputation of maybe underpaying people a little bit or lowballing people a little bit, but that's also just, even though it's maybe a little dirty or a little nasty or whatever, it is just good business because obviously Riot, has the tier 1 esports. League of Legends is still, whatever game you like, whether you like CSGO or Valorant or League of Legends or whatever, League of Legends is still the premier game in the world, the premier esport. And it's popping off over in Europe. And, Shox and anyone else being a part of League of Legends, it helps grow their career and their brand. If Shox was the host for any other esport, I'm sure she'd still be very successful, and I'm still believe she'd be doing a great job. But would she be as massive as she is today? I don't know. But also, it makes sense that the biggest esport and the biggest broadcast and all this stuff gets to pay people a little lower. It doesn't make sense that, if Shox was going to go to somewhere else, that she would make less. Like, they would have to pay her more to get her to go to not the best esport in the world. Riot has that power off of the brand they've built up and the production value and everything. And, I think Shox is great at what she does, and I think she's awesome. But, am I going to not watch the LEC because Shox isn't hosting? I'm not, and I really don't think a lot of other people are as well. Now, again, I do agree that the product is better when she's a part of it, and also her social medias are super, super popping off, and it probably does help out the LEC in a lot of ways. But again, Riot has to decide just how much value these people are providing. They have to decide how much value they're providing as well, and then there's all a bunch of other clauses and stuff that go into it. It's this whole thing. So for anyone on the outside to say that they really know anything about what's going on is super, super weird. If you're saying Shox is being greedy, or if you're saying Riot's being stingy, or any of these things, that doesn't make sense because we have no idea. But I would be super, super curious to find out, and I wish some more of these contracts were more public. I wish we knew more about the negotiations and things. So I think that stuff is actually very, very interesting. And I'm not trying to flame Riot or flame Shox or anything like that. I'm just saying some of the comments that I saw were very, very strange. But Shox is back. That's exciting. Some amount of players are going to be back in the studio. That's exciting. That's going to be a great combo together. Obviously, Shox getting to talk to some players, interview them, put out some hopefully really, really good content. And hopefully the LEC keeps providing banger games. Because like I said, the first half of the split was very close. Every game, you never really know who's going to win except for Rogue, I guess. And I'm hoping the second half of the split can be just as fun and just as exciting. And with Shox and players in the studio, I think it's got a good chance at that. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me to drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff. Are you excited for players to be back in the studio, or do you think it's dumb that Riot's not doing more sooner, quicker, faster, whatever? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.